Got my classmate to fail on purpose. I'm in college for a very difficult dual degree. I am also on a stipend and need good grades or I will lose my money. Since I am estranged from my family and disabled, I absolutely need this money to study. My current grades are my country's equivalent of a perfect A and I intend to keep it that way. This semester's final was a group project, which is already bad enough. We had to write an essay about a topic of our choosing that's relevant to our field of study, create a scientific poster, give an Inuit presentation on it and afterwards get quizzed on the topic. We had 6 weeks to finish this. I landed in a group of 3 with cool guy who's engaged and puts in effort and dipshit who was lazy from day one. At the start we created a schedule and clearly divided our tasks with check-in days to keep track of what we're all doing. First check-in day, dipshit showed up late and forgot his laptop. Second check-in day, he didn't show up at all. We needed some data he was supposed to have analyzed and compiled, but he kept saying he'd sent that tomorrow or he's almost done. When he pressured him on it, he finally told us that he has done absolutely nothing so far and then had the audacity to tell us he won't do it either. He told me, to my face, that he doesn't care about this grade since you can fail INLs and still pass. He fully intended to just write off our work, and if he fails, he doesn't give a shit either. I tried explaining to him that it's cool if he doesn't care, but it's a shared grade and him not doing any work means I failed too, and if I fail I lose my stipend. His answer? Well, it's not my problem that you're broke. Well, if that's how you want to play it, sure. So I sat down with cool guy to create a plan. We kept our scheduled check-in days, but didn't remind dipshit day off, and of course he forgot about them. We worked on the entire project together, created a dope-ass poster, just generally did our best work and didn't tell dipshit about any of it. I did all the research and wrote dipshit's part while cool guy compiled all the data of our interviews and made the poster. We planned our part of the presentation together and are very ready for the quiz portion. We also talked to our professor and showed him proof of dipshit straight up refusing to work and no showing to plan meetups. Professor told us to mark what part of the project each person did and he'd make an exception for our group and grade each person's work individually. Now it's one day before the presentation and dipshit texted the group chat, asking what he's supposed to talk about. I simply wrote as agreed before the project, everyone talks about what they wrote in the essay. Dipshit then started to panic and asked what he was supposed to say since all he wrote was half a page of shittily compiled date that turned out to be wrong. I told him tough luck and to figure it out, he had enough time to think about that. Since he never brought his laptop to any meetups, he also has no access to the shared files and can't improvise anything either. The presentation is tomorrow in front of our whole class and the professor. Watching him utterly embarrass himself is going to be fun. Update: we held the presentation in front of the class and 2 professors. I had to go first because of how our topics got divided and said my part. I did the introduction, talked about my research and gave the other 2 a nice point to jump off of. Dipshit went second and all he did was repeat what I said and ramble until his Inuits were over. He added absolutely nothing new and just read some numbers off the poster. Most of his speaking time was padded with furthermore, and so on, ums and yeah so. It was absolutely painful to watch. Cool guy went last, but because dipshit already read off the stats he was supposed to present, it really hurt the flow because cool guy added all the context. During the questioning round I answered all the questions directed at me, and when dipshit got asked, he answered that's part of ops research every single time, even though it wasn't. Because I at least read the whole thing I still knew all the answers, and him not knowing anything made me look even better. We get the grades in a few weeks, but so far it looks like I will at least get something passable, while dipshit didn't even fill the minimum requirements. All in all, it was just painfully awkward cringe and I wished I could leave and disappear the entire time.